Youth culture. Every generation has had its defining tribes, often characterized by their taste in music or political beliefs. On this week's Full Frame, a look at one youth subculture that began here in the United States and has found a global following. And later, a close-up on one aspect of today's youth culture that is having dire consequences. I'm Mike Walter in Los Angeles. Let's take it full frame. The exact origins of skateboarding are hard to pin down. It's thought it all began in the 1950s. Not surprisingly, it was surfers in California who got the bright idea to surf concrete when the waves were flat. So it goes without saying that the first commercially manufactured skateboards were sold by surf shops in Los Angeles. By 1963, skateboarding was all the rage among American teenagers. By the 1990s, skateboarding had grown into an anti-establishment youth subculture, a subculture that came with its own fashion and lingo, leading to the common perception of skateboarders as hooligans or troublemakers. Today, with the popularity of skateboarding competitions, video games, and the emergence of skateparks, skateboarding has become a mainstream sport. For the past 30 years, one name has been synonymous with all things skateboarding: Tony Hawk. From video games to skateboard paraphernalia, clothing, world tours, and media appearances, he has dominated the action sports scene. He's known for a laid-back style, but he also has a fearless streak, a willingness to take incredible risks on the halfpipe. In 1999, Tony Hawk made history by becoming the first skater to land a 900. That's a trick involving the completion of 2.5 mid-air revolutions on a skateboard. He retired from professional competitions later that year, but he didn't disappear. He still tours the world putting on personal skate shows. He's also devoted himself to the work of his foundation. The Tony Hawk Foundation has donated more than $4 million to nearly 600 skate park projects throughout the United States. The foundation helps to build them in low-income neighborhoods. And as Full Frame contributor Sandra Hughes found out, these skate parks are not only giving young skaters a safe place to hone their skills, but they're also transforming entire communities.
It's no exaggeration to say that skateboarding saved Albert Mamila's life. Just 4 years ago, this 16-year-old was on a path to destruction.
I was smoking, doing drugs throughout middle school.
Mamila was expelled from school and spent his days high on marijuana. His downhill slide was a reaction to his mother's death.
My mom was diagnosed with cancer. She was diagnosed with cancer around 5th grade, but it really didn't hit me until 6th grade. That's when I started acknowledging that she was losing her hair. She was going to the hospital 2-3 times a week.
In 8th grade, he decided to pick up a skateboard, and he rode it to a new life.
If I was mad, I'd go skateboard at the park. If I was sad, I'd go skateboard. And to this day, I still have issues talking about my mother, but I just go skateboard. That's what I do.
Mamila joined a skateboarding club in Long Beach, California. He skates with his team at McBride Skate Park, built just 3 years ago in the heart of gang territory.
The gang culture, I guess, if you will, started here in Southern California. The neighborhood around McBride, it's a working class neighborhood, some issues in the past, particularly as it relates to gang activity.
The Long Beach police chief says city officials had some fear that building a skate park in gang territory would only bring more trouble, but it's been just the opposite.
What we saw were kids now had a focus for their spare time, and they had something productive to be able to do with their time, and now we're down 23.5% this year from last year on violent crime in the area immediately surrounding McBride. So it's a much safer place to come to than it was in years past.
McBride Skate Park was built with funds from the city and a grant from the Tony Hawk Foundation. Former City Council member Mike Donnellan is the driving force behind all 9 skate parks in Long Beach.
My passion is to keep these kids out of gangs, and so far we're very, very successful at that. We have kids picking up skateboards, not guns, jumping in skate parks, not gangs.
Donnellan believes the skate culture is a bond as strong as family for kids who desperately need it.
All these kids, they have each other's back, they always support each other, and like I always say, they get pats on the back from us that they may never get at home.
Not to mention, it's fun. Take a look at it from Albert Mamilia's point of view. There are estimates that 30 million young people skateboard at free skate parks across the United States every year. And those young people have their own language.
There's the feeble, back lip, back 50.
Grinding on handrails, flat bars.
Back nose blunt, back overcrook.
Like any sport, skateboarding takes practice, time, and patience. As Albert Mamilia puts it, skateboarders are always trying something new, so the sport never gets old.
It's just an endless love that you never fall out of.
And for kids like Mamilia, it's a path to college and beyond. A ride he'd never have imagined before he jumped on 4 wheels and never looked back. For Full Frame, this is Sandra Hughes in Los Angeles.